I refuse to not be first.
Do we do enough? Well, I never shut up about it.
It must have been about 16, 17. We nicked their guilt rings. Right, the bouncers' guilt rings.
This is no good for me. That's the reality. If you want the honest truth, and I see it every day.
Razaman IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. Delighted to have with me on Zoom. He's in the UK, David Light. David, firstly, welcome to the UK. How are we doing?
Yeah, we're going good, mate. Thank you.
How's the weather?
It's pretty dark here, actually, but yeah, it's a bit of a mix-up from what I'm used to.
Absolutely, absolutely. David, let's jump straight in. 20-0, 12 KOs. Just describe your journey so far in boxing.
Well, it's a bit of a weird one. It's like compact 5 years into, but no, it's I don't know. Can you ask me any different questions? Maybe you can pull that out of me.
Let's go back. 2014 was it? You won the silver at the Commonwealth Games. When you got that nod in silver, were the ambitions still the same? Was the goal still the same? I want to go into boxing. I've got the silver. I want to become a world champion.
No, it was completely different back then. I really believed in amateur Olympic style boxing back then. I really thought that all the best guys in the world, all the Cubans, all the Russians, all that, they stuck to amateur boxing. They're all about the Olympics. That's what I wanted to do. I thought getting the silver medal would shoot me up into getting the country behind me to make the Olympics. And that's all my ambition was at that time. So when the Olympics didn't happen, I just stepped back from boxing and didn't even think about going pro for a few years.
So what was that time still like then? When did you make your decision, and what was the key kind of thoughts on then going into boxing?
I completely gave up. I never thought 6 years ago I'd be sitting here fighting for a world title. I totally gave up on boxing. But the guy I was training with, Isaac Peach, he's my coach now. He heading me up and saying just come back into the gym, and because he started training some people, so I went back in there, and I didn't know that we were going to take it so seriously.
Did he see something in you to say, listen, did he motivate you? Was he the key kind of person behind the scenes to get you where you are today?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. It's kind of crazy, we keep saying our gym's pretty much a bunch of misfits. I was all depressed and sitting in my room, and I quit my job and was just watching YouTube all day. He was hard on the piss. Another of our guys was a real rambunctious young Russian boy, and he was getting kicked out of every gym he had stepped into. He was a chain smoker, and another one of our guys had almost killed himself in a car crash. So it's just but we're all come together, and we all want to just be world champions, and so we work hard in the gym. And I think we got 4 of us are now rated in the top 10 in the world. So it's pretty crazy. Just we were fighting out of a little carport back then.
In terms of Lawrence Okolie, which we'll come to in a short while, you're obviously his mandatory challenger. There are other champions in the division as well, Golamari or Pataya as well. Was the WBO the route that you wanted to go, or is it something that just happened while you were fighting and got yourself to a 20-0?
It became pretty clear that it was going to be the WBO, I think a few years ago. So once we saw that was the road that was going to be that was the path to the champion, getting a world title shot. So that's the one we took.
Lawrence Okolie himself, he's undefeated. He's won the world title, I think, in his 16th fight against Glowacki. A devastating puncher, a tall, rangy fighter. How much of a challenge is this going to be?
It's either going to be a big challenge or it's not. We've prepared the best we can. I think we've prepared really well. We've got a lot of guys in New Zealand, thankfully, that we're able to emulate his style. So and we've been doing really good, really good. So it's I'm feeling really confident going into this. Yeah.
One of the things I've noticed over the years watching Lawrence live and on TV is that he has obviously those long arms and he has a really strong right hand. And a lot of fighters who are generally shorter than him when they fight him struggle to kind of get in range because they're scared, because not scared, but they understand getting too close, they might take one of those right hands. So how do you take that right hand away from Lawrence so you're able to play your game?
I think the way I feel from watching a lot of fights is they kind of let it happen. I think they were too wary to begin with, and then they kind of allowed him. That's from what I've seen. They've like allowed him to do what he does, and you can't do that with anyone, especially at a certain level. So I don't know why they did that, but I'm not planning on doing that.
In terms of your preparation for Lawrence, is there something that the team has seen that say we can exploit that? That's his weaknesses, etc.
Yeah, absolutely. Everyone's got their weaknesses, and I don't think he's like the most technically sound boxer, but he's got a lot of good attributes. But there is a lot to exploit there.
Lawrence is, I believe, top of my head again, he's been out the ring for over a year or just about under a year. He's teamed up with Sugar Hill as well, so new training coach. He's gone out to Miami, so a new destination as well. Is this the right time, do you feel like, to get Lawrence while he's made a lot of changes? And also, let's not talk about he's changed management and promotional companies at the same time as well. So it's almost a brand new start for Lawrence. So do you feel like it's the right time for you to capture Lawrence?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I could have taken this fight 4 years ago or something, and I chose not to. I wanted to work up to it. So, I mean, I was backing myself anyway, but it could be. I don't know if the changes were like necessary or good or whatever. I don't speculate on someone else's the way that they want to prepare for something, but it's yeah, I do feel like it's time for a good change.
How does the fight end?
Yeah, I don't think it goes the distance, to be honest. Yeah.
Are you knocking Lawrence out?
Well, I never make those kind of speculations, but that would be great. If I feel like it's there, then I'm someone who can make it happen.
Just on Australian boxing, it's thriving at the moment. Just to name a few, some of the females in Ebony Bridges and Sky and Nicholson here in the UK. We saw George Kambosos become the undisputed champion. We've got Jay Opataya, who's got another version of the cruiserweight belt as well. So just a few words on Australian boxing, and it's flying at the moment.
Yeah, Australians. I'm obviously Kiwi, so we sort of see ourselves as sort of like, I don't know, I guess it's like how the Irish see you guys or something, something like that. But it's like, but down under, I think in the past we haven't had the sort of profession. We've always had talent down in that side of the world, but we just haven't really had the professional kind of skills. But you're seeing that emerge now that we're doing everything professionally, and now the talent's getting the right preparation for going into these fights, and so that's why you're seeing a lot of champions emerge, I think.
What did you make of the kind of cruiserweight division at the moment? Obviously, in the UK, we've got Lawrence Okolie, we've got Chris Billam-Smith is on the same platform, Richard Riakporhe's on the same platform. So, I don't know what Marius Briedis is doing at the moment as well, but he's still lingering about. And then obviously the champion. So quite a strong division.
Yeah, it's building up, but that's how I want it to be, and I'm not just trying to exploit an easy division or anything. That's awesome that cruiserweights. It was sort of like that kind of division that no one really took that seriously. It was kind of just like a stepping stone up to the heavyweights, but now it's like becoming a real serious division, and that's cool. It's awesome to be part of it.
I know you're not probably looking past Lawrence, but potentially there's a huge unification fight with Jay Opataya in Australia.
Yeah.
Beat Lawrence Okolie, which would be crazy for Australia.
Yeah, I mean, we thought that might happen even before the world title shot. So we thought that might happen last year or the year before. But yeah, that would be awesome. I mean, I'm not looking at it right now, but there's a lot of potential. There's a lot of potential good matchups after this fight.
Finally, David, any comments to any potential UK fans and new viewers that be watching in and tuning in and becoming fans of yourself? What can we expect to see from David Light next Saturday?
Yeah, I think it's going to be fireworks. That's what I want. You know, I love a good fight. I want to get in there and I want to fight. So if that's what you like, if you like seeing fights, then yeah, tune in.
Well, we wish you all the best on Saturday next week, David. We will catch up with you, hopefully face to face, and we'll probably get a proper. We'll get you to gauge more on Lawrence Okolie and call him out. And, you know, talk to him a bit more. It might be a bit easier for me face to face, but no, appreciate you jumping on. Give us a few minutes of your time on Zoom, and yeah, we'll see you next week.
Thank you.
David Light, IFL TV. Thank you very much.
Refuse to not be first.
Do we do enough? Well, I never shut up about it.
It must have been about 16, 17. We nicked their gilt rings. Right, the bouncers' gilt rings.
This is no good for me. That's the reality. If you want the honest truth, and I see it every day,